Okay, so this is going to be my second video I'm going to do on why I know that decriminalization of prostitution needs to happen. And I'm doing this second video because my first video, I was just sort of playing around, but I am really serious, and I just want to try to inform people the seriousness of this problem of police abusing and arresting women for doing nothing more than selling a service. I am about human rights. There's a lot of things that really piss me off that people do to other people, and this is one of them. There are so many prejudices out there against minority groups, such as prostitution. Prostitutes are in a minority group, therefore they are subject to severe harassment and abuses by the government and by society in general. There are many misconceptions about prostitutes. The ones you normally hear about or see are usually negative things that they want to show you. Things like, prostitutes that are addicted to drugs and stuff like that, but that's not really the norm. Sure, there's a lot of that, and sure, there's going to be a lot of that, but in the mainstream of things, such as the adult industry, most people, women or men or whatever, that are do prostitute themselves, that do sell sexual services, are not doing drugs, and they don't carry disease. I worked in the adult industry for quite some time, and I sometimes, from time to time, do artistic nudes. And even that used to be illegal about 50 years ago. You couldn't even take a photo of a naked person. That was considered illegal. And I know how things are, and I know how bad things are, and I've even worked in strip clubs where the vice, they'll come in with your money, the taxpayers' money, okay? I know this for a fact. I used to work in a strip club. They will come in, you won't know they're vice, of course they're undercover, and they will have your money, the taxpayers' money, and they will be sitting there tipping girls, getting lap dances, and then trying to entrap them, saying, oh, I'll give you more money if you do this or that, or if you touch me here, or if you let me touch your breast or something like that. And then if the girl goes ahead and lets him, they arrest her for prostitution. Or they arrest her for a lewd act, which could be even worse than prostitution. You know, and this carries a lot of really bad, negative things. It's because, you see, what you're doing is you're creating, when you make this illegal, you are creating the problem, because these innocent people who are just trying to make a living then have to go through life with a record, okay? When you want to go apply for an apartment or a job, people do a search and they see that you've been arrested for different things like prostitution, you know, or a lewd act, or massage without a license, or trespassing. You know, police can pretty much arrest you for nothing and then put something on you. They'll just make something up. For example, you know, you get arrested someplace. Well, they can press, trespassing charges, even though you never said how much, you never told them what you would do. They'll just arrest you and then say, oh, you were trespassing, you know. So it's abuse. It's plain and simple abuse. Also, places like San Francisco, the cops there are known to make the prostitutes give them free sex in order to maybe not charge them with anything and just let them go. Or they, in order to get an arrest, the cops, like say, like a place in San Francisco, the cops there will actually take all their clothes off, get a massage, and fondle your breasts, and then have the nerve to say to you, how much more for sex? And even though you say, it's just a massage, guess what? they'll arrest you anyway. And I'm not even fucking kidding you. You see, people don't understand what kind of abuse is going on here. They just they don't care. People think that prostitutes or people who do massage or whatever, they think they're all dirty. Well, guess what? They're not dirty, okay? You're dirty. If a prostitute can't protect themselves with condoms, okay, and make sure, you know, that they're clean, then who could? How could anyone? How could any person having sex, you know, in general, keep themselves clean if a prostitute can't? What, just because she gets money for her services, what, somehow that makes it more dirty? That somehow makes it, you know, a health hazard? As if a condom can't stop that? If anything, the prostitute is more clean because she's more aware of her body. She's not going to let a guy just do anything he wants, okay? There's actually been research on this, and in the brothels, believe it or not, you see, there's a saying, and it goes like this. Truth is more stranger than fiction. And the truth of the matter is, in the brothels, this is a fact, you can do the research yourself, in the brothels, where the girls use condoms nowadays, of course, I'm not talking about 100 years ago when they didn't use condoms, I'm talking about now, in the past, I don't know what, 10, 20 years, there's never been a case of AIDS or disease. Okay? And I'm talking about compared to the general population, the general public. In the brothels, you can say that there has never been a case of disease or AIDS when they use the condoms. I'm not talking about, you know, people who are not in the brothels, who don't use protection, who do drugs and stuff like that. It's not that the brothel itself it's allowing. It's not because it has nothing to do with the brothel itself that, you know, that watches. It's not like these women need to be watched or anything. I'm just talking about people who are responsible, who don't do drugs, who have responsibilities in their lives, who want to better their lives, you know, who want to make a living for themselves. I'm talking about people who are responsible, who work in brothels, do not carry any kind of disease whatsoever. It's been proven because these people get tested all the time. So I can't speak for the adult industry because I know those people, they have a lot of unprotected sex. I know pretty much that goes on a lot there. So I'm not talking about that. And as far as in the general population, I would say they have a much, much, much higher chance of ever contracting AIDS or disease compared to the prostitute who is a responsible person who uses protection. So, there's a lot of stuff I need to cover on this. People are just so ignorant. It really pissed me off when someone responded to my last video accusing prostitutes or prostitution in general, accusing them, this minority group, of causing disease. It's untrue. It's unfounded. There's no evidence to that. There's no evidence that suggests that just because somebody gets money for a service that makes them more, you know, disease-ridden. It has nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with being safe. You could have sex 100 times a day with a condom, and that's perfectly legal, but ask someone for, you know, money, and what, all of a sudden it's diseased because you asked for money, even though you used a condom, you know, and yet, you know, you can take someone who just is promiscuous, and most likely because they don't see it the same way as a prostitute sees it, they see it more as just having a good time, you know, they're more likely to not use protection because of the way that they view sex. When the prostitute views sex much differently, because it's a career choice for them. And if they get something, then they can't work. So I have much more to cover on this.